So what would happen to a brisket if I soaked it in jalapeno juice for a few days? Let's find out. So I was talking to a fishing buddy of mine, Chris Flores from Muddy River Catfishing, and he was asking me, hey, what would happen to a brisket if you soaked it in jalapeno juice for a few days? And I was like, I don't know, I've never tried it, but I'm interested to see how this brisket is gonna come out. Make sure you guys check out Chris with Muddy River Catfishing. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel down inside the description box. All right, let me glove up. Again, always wear a cut glove on your non-dominant hand anytime that you're using knives. Followed up with some nitrile gloves. All right, so I'm starting with a fairly small brisket. This is an 11-pound brisket. Now, I didn't want to get a really big brisket because I don't know how this is going to turn out. Now, if this turns out good, I'm going to wish that I had started with a much larger brisket. All right, this brisket is a little mangled up, as you can see right here, but I'm going to try to clean it up. So I'm going to start by removing this decal right here. Man, this part is really weird right here. So I almost want to take this entire piece off because it looks like a big chunk of fat, and that's what I'm going to do. Definitely save this chunk of meat to make some carne guisada or for sausage making. All right, that's all the trimming I'm going to do on this side. Fat cap, well, there's not much left here. This is pretty much just a small brisket flat with a little bit of point right here. And I don't really want to take much off other than this thin edge right here. And just a little bit off of this edge right here. All right, that is perfect for me, so I'm just gonna set this aside. So I've got 3 100-ounce cans of sliced jalapenos. Now, I would highly recommend that you get the sliced jalapenos instead of the whole jalapenos, because I think this can has a lot more juice. All right, so let's strain these pickled jalapenos. Got this fancy strainer. I have a funny feeling that we're gonna end up with some Mexican pastrami, but we'll find out. All right, let's grab the brisket and toss it inside the jalapeno juice. I think that's enough right there. Oh, will it fit? Oh yeah, that's perfect right there. 2 cans of jalapenos. Again, this is a small brisket. So if you're gonna try this at home, definitely get a smaller brisket. All right, so I'm gonna cover this up, toss it in my fridge for 5 days, and I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so the brisket has been marinating in jalapeno juice for 5 days. Let's take a look at it. All right, the moment of truth. Again, I don't know what's gonna happen to the brisket. I know it's gonna be really nice and tender and maybe slightly cook the surface a little bit because of the vinegar inside of the jalapeno juice. But here we go. Look at this. It's got a brownish color to it, but the center still looks a little pink. I don't know, we might end up with some Mexican pastrami. Just gonna lay down some paper towels to soak up some of that juice. Look at that. Yep, it definitely smells like jalapeno juice. Just gonna lightly tap some of the juices off of this brisket. All right, so there we can get a better look at the surface of the brisket. Again, it's got a light brownish color, nothing off-putting, but the center of the brisket still looks pink. So as far as the rub, I'm sticking to a traditional Texas brisket, salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of Laurie's seasoned salt. All right, give her a good old flipperooski. Season up that fat cap. Now, if you notice, I am not using a plastic cutting board. In fact, I will no longer be using plastic cutting boards because there's little plastic fibers that are coming off of that cutting board, and I'm afraid that we're eating that, and that can't be good for you. So going forward, I'm gonna have a wooden cutting board for raw meats and a wooden cutting board for my cooked meats. Oh my gosh, this pepper. Season your edges. All right, let's head outside to the smoker. All right, so I've got my Lone Star grills running at 260 degrees, and as always, I'm gonna be using Smokin pecan pellets. Again, these shells are made with 100% pecan shells, no fillers, no binders, nothing but pecan shells, and the result is a ton of smoke. All right, let's load up our brisket. All right, so I'm gonna be placing this brisket on the top shelf, fat cap up with a point facing towards the controller. Now, this is a question that I get asked a lot. You know, why do I put the brisket's fat cap up on the top shelf? Well, the reason for it, yes, the heat is coming from the bottom, but trust me, when this shelf is in, the heat rises and deflects off the body of the smoker right here. So you got a lot of heat right here, so it's okay to smoke a brisket on a pellet smoker with a fat cap up. Now there's a lot of smoker manufacturers out there that don't use a large shelf like this. They'll use a quarter shelf or maybe a half shelf, but you can't fit a brisket on there. So one thing that I've done before is just line a couple of bricks with foil paper and stack them right here on the bottom shelf. Then lay a 22-inch grate on top of the bricks and place your brisket on top of that to separate it from the heat source, which is on the bottom of a pellet smoker. All right, so I'm going to shut the lid, again 260 degrees. I will see you guys in about 5 hours. Stay tuned. All right, so 5.5 hours into our cook. Let's take a look at this brisket. Oh yes. All right, so that bark is looking really nice. And look at that edge, it's got that pastrami look. Man, I gotta tell you, I cannot wait to bite into this jalapeno juice brisket. I'm gonna get an internal temperature here. All right, so that point is at 165 degrees. Oh man, that flat is still tough, but it's already at 172 degrees. So at this point, I'm gonna let it go a little bit more, probably 1 hour, then I'll come back and we'll wrap it up. Stay tuned. All right, so 6.5 hours into our cook. Let's take a look at this brisket. Much better bark. Look at how much darker that bark is after only 1 more hour of additional smoke. Let's get an internal temperature. On the point, we're sitting at 174 degrees. And on the flat, we're sitting at 179, but it's still really tough. So I'm gonna use the bottom shelf to wrap my brisket using butcher paper. Now, I've got 2 pieces, but I really only need 1 since it's a very small brisket. But since I already cut them, I'm gonna use them. So I just overlap the butcher paper a little bit. Look at this. Man, that brisket looks nice. And back on the top shelf she goes. Okay, so at this point, I'm not looking for an internal temperature. I'm just looking for that brisket to be really nice and tender, but the temperature is usually about 205 degrees. I'll let you guys know what my final temp is. Stay tuned. All right, so the brisket is ready and the total cook time was 9 hours and it was probing extremely tender. The internal temperature on the point and the flat was 204 degrees. Now this brisket has been resting for 1 hour. I am gonna let it rest overnight. I'm gonna check the internal temperature. 142 degrees, which is perfect. 156 on the flat. Now I know there's lots of people that like to hold their briskets inside of a cooler, and that's okay for about an hour. What you really need is a temperature controlled atmosphere for your brisket. And this is where the Heater 4 from Tablesmith comes in. What the Heater 4 unit does is it will convert the cooler that you're already using to hold your briskets into a temperature controlled holding oven. This Heater 4 unit is going to change your barbecue game because not only are you holding briskets and other meats in a cooler, you're doing it safely and keeping the temperatures out of that danger zone. So just in case you guys didn't know, the danger zone is between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. So what that means is you got to keep your meats colder than 40 degrees or higher than 140 degrees. Anywhere in that temperature zone of 40 degrees and 140 degrees, you start to build bacteria, and that bacteria builds fast. And that's why it's important to make sure that you're resting your meat in a temperature controlled environment. Now the Heater 4 unit will work on any cooler, but they work best because they hold temperature better on an insulated cooler. So what I normally do is I install the Heater 4 unit about an hour and a half before I'm going to place the meat in the cooler. That way that cooler is nice and warm. So let me show you guys how simple it is to set up your Heater 4 unit. So this is the heater unit that goes inside of your cooler. It does come with a harness, so all you got to do is pull the drain plug out of your cooler and run this harness through the drain plug. Now to mount this heater unit, you do get a bracket, and all you got to do is mount this heater unit on top of that bracket and it holds in place. So here's the mounting bracket for the heater. And by the way, the heater also has a small reservoir. If you wanted to maintain a certain humidity percentage, you can add a little bit of water into this and it'll maintain that humidity level for you. So all I'm going to do is pass the harness through the drain plug, just like that. I'm going to mount my heater onto the bracket. Simple. So this is the controller to the Heater 4. All you got to do is connect the harness from your heater to the controller. Push it all the way in. Next step, plug in your power cable. Now this unit measures Fahrenheit and Celsius. If you wanted to change it to Celsius, all you got to do is push in on this red button once. Just like that, and we're already at Celsius. Now if I wanted to increase the temperature of this unit, all I got to do is turn this red knob. I'm going to set it at 145 degrees, just like that. And this unit will warm up to 145 degrees and keep it at that temperature. I'm telling you guys, this heater 4 from Tablesmith is a game changer. Check them out at the link below. Now I smoked a small brisket and that's why I'm using the small cooler. But let's say that I was smoking 6 briskets and I needed to hold them for 12 hours. Well, you can purchase additional mounts for your heater unit and mount that on your larger coolers. All right, so I'm gonna place my brisket inside of my cooler. I'm gonna hold this for about 12 hours. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, so it's the very next day and 14 hours later, I've got my brisket inside of my cooler. Now, as far as the temperatures, the lowest I've seen on the display is 143 degrees, but it's been maintaining at 145 degrees again for 12 hours straight. So let's pull our brisket out. All right, let's see what we got here. I gotta tell you, I'm really excited to slice into this brisket and taste this brisket. Man, that is looking really nice. All right, the moment of truth. Let's slice into this brisket right down through the point and the flat. Let's see what we've got. Holy smokes. Really nice and juicy. Hopefully you guys can see exactly how juicy this is. But look at that. Again, the aroma is absolutely amazing. Man, this brisket is really tender. And that's coming from the vinegar that's inside of that jalapeno juice. Look at this. Mega tender, nice and juicy as well. Let's check out that point. Now I gotta tell you, there is definitely an aroma of jalapeno juices inside of this brisket. I mean, check out this point. Extremely juicy and again, really nice and tender. All right, let's give this brisket a taste and see how we did. All right, so first, let's try a piece of that flat. Look at that, nice and juicy. And I gotta tell you, this brisket is a little bit more tender than normal, but let's taste it. All right, so first things first, this brisket is absolutely delicious. Now, as far as the jalapeno flavor, it's there, but it's not overpowering, and you get a little bit of heat. Again, nothing too overpowering. This brisket is delicious. So on that second bite, I could really taste the jalapeno juice, but the flavor, again, is absolutely amazing. Let's try out this point. Look at that. Nice and juicy. Look at this. It is about to fall apart. Let's give it a taste. Again, the jalapeno flavor is very subtle. It's got a little bit of zing. Man, this is good. You know what's pretty wild is that the more I have of this brisket, the more I can taste that jalapeno flavor. And again, that little bit of heat on the back end. But man, this is absolutely amazing. So one big thing that I noticed on this jalapeno juice brisket is just how tender it is. I mean, you really don't need any teeth to chew on this brisket, and the flavor is amazing. So the real question is, would I do this again? Absolutely, you have got to try this. Now this brisket was a small brisket starting at 11 pounds. So if you're gonna do a larger brisket, maybe a 14, 15, 16 pound brisket, I would highly recommend that you soak that brisket for 7 or 8 days. I hope you guys enjoyed this jalapeno juice brisket. Don't forget to check out Tablesmith and start holding your meats at a safe temperature. If this is your first time to my channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, Joe with Smokin Joe's Pit BBQ. See ya.